How do you keep believing after you've already obeyed? Too often, or at least a lot of the time, we hear great, encouragements, motivations, sermons, all those kind of things about having the courage to take the leap. Take the leap of faith. Do the bold thing. Step off from, go out on the skinny branch. All of those kind of things. But I know some of you have that same situation going on in your own life. You literally are living in a place where you've already taken the leap. You're standing on the edge of the cliff at one point earlier in your life, last week, last month, last year, 12 decades ago. I know that would make you 120. And you jumped. And now you're somewhere between here and the ground, right? The ground's rising up at you very quickly. Sometimes it's really scary, isn't it? Because you took the leap, you did as the motivational saying goes, build the plane in flight. You did all of those kind of things, took off in the plane that has no wheels, and so now you got to develop a way to land the plane. All of those kind of things, and they're cool, and I admire you for having done it because that's rare. You need to be encouraged for and complimented for the fact that you're a doer. You made the step, you took the leap, you did the thing when there are so many people who don't. They stand there looking over the edge of the cliff, often even talking about how cool it's going to be when they jump. They make charts and graphs and plans. I've done this. I've got spreadsheet upon spreadsheet, outline upon outline of things. It was 2000, right? Really just before COVID. And I was having a conversation with one of the people that was working with me then. And I said, I'm always talking to people about how easy it is to do a book and how quickly you can do a book and those kind of things. And I was like, I have back then I essentially had one book. And I knew that book needed to be, it had a 1.0 and a 2.0 version. And I knew that book was too long and had too much in it, and it needed to be re-released as a 10 book set. That's essentially the story of the first 12 books I did. And I was like, I need to do that. I need to stop talking about how I do it. I need to stop having my one and only book be this giant tome when I'm telling people are looking for one point, make it really clear, give them a clear action. I need to show that. I said, but then really, I need to be putting out a whole bunch of books. Okay, so that was essentially 6 years ago, a little bit more than now. And like you said, I was at that point sitting there with technically 2 books. You could get finicky on me and go, well, actually, Steve, when you start talking about all of the 41, soon to be 42 books that you've done, you were actually in 2 anthologies as well, prior to that. So technically, I was maybe at 4 books. But I was like, I need to be doing a book. I should do like a book every month. I should be at the place where I have 12 or 15 books by the end of this year. That was 2000. Here we are, flash forward 6 years. I'm now in the 41 range. 42 is written. I want to put it out this week. I'm really excited about the Hadassah, the Esther book. Anyway, with all of that said, I really know what it's like to be standing there planning something. And that's cool, but at some point you just got to jump. You just got to say, I'm going to do this thing and jump off the side of the cliff. And it's absolutely terrifying. But you're obedient. You did it. And when you're walking down that road towards that thing, the event that we've got at the end of this month that we're committed to, we're going to do, we'd love to have you there. but we don't know which people are going to be there. I had somebody push back on me yesterday and ask, can we live stream into it? And I'm going to be talking to somebody later today about how we could make that possible for folks too. All of those kind of things. We don't know the outcome. We're in the middle of the journey. And I'm going to talk about the whole entire life's journey. I'm talking about just that little micro journey of this task. And sometimes it can be really easy to get discouraged and be like, oh, it's never going to happen. But that's not the truth. And maybe the miracle isn't the finish line. Maybe it is just purely that you're still walking. Maybe it is that after, like Peter, you sank and God had to save you. Maybe it's that you walked back to the boat. And those are good too. I'd really love to hear from you. Have you had a season where you knew exactly what you were supposed to do, but the results hadn't shown up? Or you're in a season right now that the results haven't shown up yet? What helped you keep believing? I'd really love to hear you. I look forward to commenting and talking with you today. I hope until we're together again next time, you have a great week.